Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Rocky here. I was gonna say along with my guy Gav as usual, as I used to say, but it's actually been a minute. I can't even remember since the
Mm,
last time we've done a pod. Blame Gav, not me. No, I'm joking. Nah,
obviously.
no, man. But honestly, it's just good to be back to chat all things about Arsenal and some kits and everything going on. But yeah,
Mm,
hopefully we could do it on a more regular basis because I know we've got some hardcore people who always want to see some new content, and yeah, I just
mm.
want to be able to give it to you guys. You know what I mean? So definitely we'll be keeping up with some new pods coming soon. But yeah, Gav, man, let everyone know how you been, and let me know how you been. How you been?
Well, you know how I've been, but no, I've been good, mate. There's a lot been going on with Arsenal, hasn't there? So I think me and you have just been sort of soaking it in, seeing what happens over the summer, and it seems to be very positive right now, which is great. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think I've been absolutely fine. Like you say, we've been obviously talking as normal, but yeah, I kind of felt a good time, especially with the documentary and everything, just to sort of get back into the pods, reach out, let people know what we think, and take it from there. Like you said, hopefully we can do some more.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man, it's good to be back.
Yeah, yeah. I know there's heaps. There's absolute heaps to talk about.
Mm,
Considering that we've had the successful transfer window so far, we've yet to see one of our guys, Fabio Vieira, play, and we go
mm,
into him a little bit more in detail later. But just like
yeah,
we've been blessed as Arsenal fans for content, whether if it's been pre-season or even the All or Nothing documentary that we should
mm,
literally get right into in a little bit. But like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's been
yeah.
amazing. Like the piece around the club, no matter how I wouldn't say sour end of last season, but there's just so much around us that is just making us like so positive right now, and looking
Mm.
forward ahead to our new season. But yeah, man, it's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when they announced it, I admittedly said to you, "Oh, do you know what, mate? I'm not too sure if I want to watch that
Mm.
because sometimes quite well, no, because a lot of people were the same, but sometimes when it's edited and it might portray a certain one side, what Arsenal want people to think goes on. Do you know what I mean? But
Mm.
um, yeah, there was a bit of pessimistic side from me, but
Yeah,
from episode one, mate, I was hooked. Do you know what I mean? I thought this is brilliant,
yeah, man.
really, really good. It's a really
Yeah,
good balance of letting himself be open, very honest, and also I think it's helped explain a lot of things as well. You
yeah,
know, a lot of social media were always sort of double and questioning things and what's going on. Is that why that what happened? And it's good to see it,
mm.
in such a candid view.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've been absolutely hooked in it. It's been brilliant.
yeah.
How have you been feeling on it?
I feel like we're gifted with what we're seeing in the sense of like,
Mm,
I was watching it and I was like realizing I was like, damn, like this is technically free for people to watch because people do like get the trial and stuff. Some people pay like what
yeah.
£7, and I'm like, damn, what we're getting now is just unbelievable content. Like to be able to see like behind the scenes of Coney and this whole Aubameyang thing. Like this is usually kept under wraps. Like we were all
Mm,
waiting, like thinking, oh my god, like what is happening at the moment? And they've actually covered like a really like large scale of it all, which is what I'm impressed about. And
mm,
again, so many positives in general, just to see like you know um, how people are feeling in the club. Josh's support towards Arteta in those first three games, I feel like that was so like instrumental in our season. Do you know what I mean? Like
mm,
if Josh, for example, listened to what the outside was saying, and everyone was like, "Oh, Arteta out, da 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 da," things were looking very bad, and like everyone outside was thinking, "Oh God, like he looks like he could be on his way out." Josh is there,
mm,
laid back, not because he doesn't care, but he's just there thinking, like Mikel, like it's you haven't got your proper team yet. We're still working. Time will
mm,
come. Like it was just very positive, and I was almost thinking like damn, like this is quite insane what we're seeing here. We're seeing the main guy who's you know
yeah.
leading this all talk behind the scenes to Arteta and to us as a fan base. So that was very
Mm.
opening to see, very eye opening.
Yeah, and I think this has helped to change a lot of people's perception on Edu as well. Like I, for one, questioned a lot of the time what he was doing, you know, and I think being able to see what he has to deal with. I was really intrigued by the way he was handling the Aubameyang situation as well. That was really interesting to see that he kind of wanted to get it. He wanted to bring him back almost, didn't he? You know, try and sort it out. It was interesting, but at the same time, he's always still supporting Mikel. His decision comes first. You know, he trusts his judgment. But just the way he talks to the players, like the clips of Martinelli, you know, just making sure the family okay.
That was very nice.
You know, just working around the clock and being very open about how the business works and stuff. And it was really good to see. And like you said with Richard and everyone else, all the situations. Well, we'll get into the Aubameyang thing in a minute, but yeah, it's been a real eye-opener for me. I think the most important thing, most positive thing I've taken from this so far is just my perception of Mikel, and I think everyone will be the same. I know there's been a lot more positive people than maybe me and you were at first when we were like unsure on him and stuff like that. But yeah, my view on him now is he's 100% the right guy for the job, and I really enjoyed his ethics, the way he tries to gear them up, and even when they lose, okay, he had his moments when he was on them as well, but it just literally did feel like a process. Every single game was a process. It was a journey, and the way he treats them, and at the same time the way he comes down on them, he's not going to take any crap, and I thought it was really impressive. Like, that's the thing. It's like kind of like someone, when you've got a friend who is always there, he's patient with you, he always deal with anything, never really shows any anger. But when you do something wrong and he switches up that, you think, oh Christ, what have I done? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so that it's a situation, it's real. And that's how he came across, and I thought it was brilliant. Because me and you touched on it before, his age, he's still in his 30s. And you think some of the players are not far off his age, and he's in charge of them. So you've got to have some sort of authority. And this obviously will lead into the Aubameyang situation, but he had to stamp it down. He had to show it, otherwise, if the biggest player in the club isn't going to listen to you, then, that's going to reflect on everyone else. So he had to take a stand. And we'll talk about that now.
Listen, like if you look at, other all or nothings, well, like, let's say, take the Spurs one, for instance, like, you couldn't really see there was like harmony, or like, you could tell that some people had like a beef with the manager. With us, you see that everyone's on board. Like, when he's talking, he's almost like, he's so captivating. Like, when he's chatting, there was that scene when he was talking about when he got his wife. Like, there's an element of like being personal with it as well, and it's just so nice. It's really, really good to see. It's just unbelievable, man. Like, how we've got this insight, and he's speaking from the heart. And a lot of people I've been seeing, like, especially when the clips first surfaced, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's cringe," and they didn't have much context to view these videos.
Not the full picture.
But now it's like, like, you watch it, I almost felt like emotional watching some of those clips. Forest away, I felt his pain. Like, I felt his anger, I felt his emotion. And same thing when we lost against Liverpool, and he said, this is the best team in the league, and we put in a performance. We won the game from, I think it was like in between the box from our goal to their goal, but we just didn't execute. And that's just it's just amazing to see. Like, I'm curious to see how the next episodes go, because obviously, like, it all kind of broke down towards the end. But I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, it's just like, it's gonna be a tough watch. But anyways, man, we got lots and lots to look forward to this season. Let's get on to this next season before we go back to the Aubameyang thing. Let's keep it quite positive.
Do that later.
You know what I mean? Like, we're past that stage now. We're past Aubameyang. We got a young, hungry lion in Saliba. We've got Zinchenko now as like a backup or a competitor to Tierney for the left
Yeah.
back spot. There's just so much to look forward to, and if you break down the cons of last season, we've kind of addressed every single one of them, apart from maybe a
I'd say more or
midfielder,
less. Yeah. Yeah.
apart from like
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
more midfielder. But like, how good is it to see that Crystal Palace performance and to feel confident ahead for the new season? Like, how do you feel?
Yeah. Oh, mate. Honestly, it's what I've been screaming out for. You've been screaming out for. I think most Arsenal fans is the word depth. I think if you go through our pods from back in the day, depth. You know,
Yeah.
constantly saying, you know, like you just said with Zinchenko, you know, Vieira, having Saliba back now as well, which is like a new signing. And I know it's a corny thing to say. We all say that, but I think it's more than a new signing. I think it's so crucial. But yeah, having Jesus, it's just we lack that depth, and that's what the teams like City and Liverpool they all have. Like you can take off one player, you've got one of the same, you know, quality. And this is what got. I know it was only a small amount in the game, but what I really got excited by was obviously we've got Zinchenko playing. He had a good game, few moments, but you know it's going to be the first game of the season. You know he was great against Chelsea, so you can't look into it too much. But he was still great, got the assist. But then Tierney came on, and I think we sometimes forget his quality, and obviously he's been injured so much. But he came on absolutely buzzing. He was running up and down the flank, got the headers out of the way, just like he looked like when we first signed him. Do you know what I mean? And there's a hunger, and it's also a like for like replacement. And we've had to deal with so much crap. Do you know what I mean? If you take off Gabriel or White, you know, love holding, but do you know what I mean? It's not the same. It's not a like for like. And we're now going to be hopefully having that with most of the, you know, positions, which is just fantastic. And even in Nketiah, like I know some people have been like, oh yeah, but is he going to be enough if Jesus is not playing, all that kind of thing. I felt that we were starting to lose our way in that game just before he came on. He came on, and for me, he completely changed the game. His speed, his confidence. Didn't have to score. He just created drama for the team, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
You know, hunger.
Yeah, 100%. And I was telling my brother like this, like during the game. Obviously, you're away from home against Palace. Jesus wasn't really firing. There wasn't much opportunity for him to create, and it was a very good decision by Mikel to bring on Nketiah, because I was like to my brother, right, like Jesus, his legs are probably a bit tired. He looks a bit jaded. Time to take him off. And Nketiah put in a lot of work, and you know what he's like. He will run at you. He will press. And he sat back and he picked up the ball, I think, from like our own half where the semicircle was, and brought it up and made that opportunity for Saka at the end. Or I can't remember who it was, but we created a chance out of this like play where he got the ball back, and that's exactly what he was brought on for. And Tierney to lock off the game, and we were very successful in doing that. And again, that boils down to depth, having someone with just as much quality as the person you're taking off, and it's like for like, and it just makes me feel so refreshed. I know it's one game in, and there's going to be loads of like, you know, 4 games within 2 weeks sort of schedules, but you know, it's looking very, very positive, and I hope we can push for something this season, and I think we can.
I think so. I mean, for me in the game, Odegaard for me didn't have a great game, if I'm being totally honest. I think he just didn't want to shoot. But this is, I know obviously Vieira is injured at the moment, or coming back from injury, but this is the thing. If one of our players just isn't having his, you know, it's not his night, which is fair enough, you'd be able to put him on, and he should hopefully be a like for like, you know, from what we've heard. So no, it's great. I honestly, of course, I bricked it a little bit because it was away, and we did have some shaky moments. But the first 25 minutes, I don't think I've seen Arsenal play like that in years, like years. That was just unbelievable. Jesus was just making me. I thought, not watching Henri, but I felt like I was watching a world-class striker. Do you know what I mean? Like a world-class striker at Arsenal. He just would not. It was like it was stuck to his foot, literally. Like, and he chased down every ball. That is a guy who wants to be the number one striker, and he hasn't had that at sea, and he's hungry. And going into a new season, what can we ask for? Nothing more than that, mate.
He's going to score on Saturday. That's without a doubt. I'm telling you
I
now,
think
he's
so.
going to
Yeah.
score on Saturday. And we're going to clip this back and I'm going to tell you guys, look, I told you he's going to score on Saturday. Listen, man, I
Yeah.
just feel so confident right now. He's electric.
Yeah.
And like the Emirates now has a different feeling. And
Mm.
I think we're going to become one of those places like Anfield. Well, people say Anfield's buzzing, but like Emirates last season, there wasn't a minute unless there was like a stale
Just
game.
has an aura.
It
Yeah.
just,
It has
yeah.
that.
Did
Yeah.
you see in the
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean.
documentary, the press officer, you know, the one that goes around with Mikel every interview, every
Yeah.
press
He said he hasn't
conference?
seen it. Yeah.
Exactly that. And like, it's just those little lines that I pick up, and people in the club are starting to recognize it. And once that
Yeah. Yeah.
starts to, once that starts to happen, and you know, the families of the players who attend the game say, "Oh my God, the atmosphere!" You know, they feel it. There's something young and hungry about this team, and it's why
Yeah.
people want to come to us, and it's why they don't
Oh
want to go
yeah.
to United. It's why they don't want to go to maybe a Chelsea. It's because they see that,
No.
you know, we've
Yeah.
got something brewing here.
And it's funny as well because it's quite ironic because a lot of people were unsure about the all or nothing. But if anything, it's come out at the absolute perfect time. Like the season's just, we're going to be home soon. People will be watching it, absolutely buzzing off it, and they feel more connected now. They know what's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely perfect timing. It's almost like they've made the mini reality celebrities as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they'll have that sort of vibe. They'll be like, oh, it's Arteta. Is he going to lose his voice again?
Yeah, honestly, I love Mikel, man. I love when the doctor was like, Mikel, your voice is horrible. Like, and they were like laughing
there's some
at
good
that.
moments in there, man. Like even Aubameyang, I know, like the next episode not as nice, but when they came in for the win and he was taking a piss out of him on the mic and stuff like that
Yeah,
after the match, that was beautiful. Do you know what I mean? It was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm all for the guy now. He's
Me too,
and this
man,
is really I just want to just before we finish about the match, I just feel like we have to talk about Saliba though.
Saliba, yeah, I know.
Saliba, Saliba, Salami, whatever you want to call him, mate, as long as he keeps doing his job. But yeah. But he's oh mate, honestly, like that performance was unbelievable. And it's funny because he's been doing that on loan. It's nothing new to him. I didn't look phased by it. He's like, yeah, I had a good game. But he took Marseille to where they were in the league, And I picked up on a point, didn't I? That when we've been talking that.
Oh yeah.
What I loved it. Yeah. Oh yeah. What we were saying that, like when Ben White, did make a few mistakes on the game, but he was playing out of position and he still had a game. But there's a few, and there was some other defenders and other areas where it went wrong, but he would just pick up the pieces. This is what I found was amazing. If one of our players missed the ball or missed a tackle or didn't track back in time, he was just there. It's like he'd be out of shot, poof, and he was there. Do you know what I mean? Sliding tackles, kicking it out. I think there was a bit where he was on the line by Ramsdale. He just went around about 3 people and booed it out. I thought this guy is different gravy.
No,
yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Honestly, yeah. Christ, mate. But he was. I know we said before about having a new signing. It's like a new signing, but it really is.
100%.
I think we all doubted Arteta for how long we kept him on loan, but now was he 21 now? Is he 21?
He's 21.
I think he's 21.
And he's 6'4". There's no one that's getting past this kid, and he's still gonna grow. Like he's still got time to grow, and that's what's scary.
And grow into the Premier League as well, because it's a different style of football.
But listen, mate, a guy like him, you just. Like when I watched him in the preseason against Sevilla and all the other preseason games against Chelsea and stuff, like you see this guy, bro, and he is on the job. Like I'm so excited. I don't want to overhype because I know it's the first game, but like, how can you not be so excited? And how, as I said, how do you think the players feel? I think they won't see top 4 as the main goal. I think they'll try to get more than that. You're a competitor. You're an athlete. You're gonna want to win, and I think. With the new pieces we've added as well, these players, especially later on down the line, I think will tend to believe they can achieve that. Imagine if, like, I wouldn't say the league started in December, but December was when we really started to get flowing with our squad.
Yeah.
Like, what if we, start here now and think, okay, that is the goal, like winning it all. Like, I know it sounds a bit too optimistic, but what if that can
No,
be a
I
goal?
don't.
Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
can be.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not impossible.
Yeah, because I think they got a bit of the taste of it last season. Yes, we didn't get top four, but like you said before, most of these players are so young, so they're not used to any of this yet. And to nearly reach, Champions League last season, that's a massive kick to do it this season with even more depth now, even more quality. Everyone's more united. They must be absolutely buzzing, mate. And it's been showing in the friendlies that it didn't lose. Do you know what I mean? Well, we won't talk about the Brentford one, but in general, the open play ones, we haven't
The
lost.
Brentford
And
one.
how was it? There was a behind the
Oh,
scenes one,
behind.
wasn't there?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't
yeah,
count
yeah.
with the little
That's why I said open
kids.
play. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
but 25 goals or something
Yeah, it's
in
ridiculous.
preseason. That's insane, mate. It's just hunger. There's hunger in that team now, and it's exciting, and hunger to keep your place as well, because obviously with Saliba coming in and Gabriel, I think that'd be most people's preferred. But White came on last season and was fantastic. So he's not always going to be wanting to go on. If Tomiyasu can't play, there's competition for places, and that's what we want. City and Liverpool, they do that all the time, and that's why
Yeah.
they win leagues. Every
Yeah.
single player is hungry, and they want to be in that starting lineup, and that's what
Yeah.
drives you. And we've got that now. And I think Arteta said something in All or Nothing, didn't he? When he said about, and this is probably my favourite part in the whole of the series so far, when he mentioned how for 10 years, players just been getting away with
Yeah.
massive wages and doing soddle and being happy
Yeah.
to sit and do fuck all. And
Yeah.
he said, we're not having that anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, mate, if you told me that 2 seasons ago that was how you're going to be doing things, you never would have heard me
But
say anything
the
bad
thing
about
is,
him, mate.
he did.
Unbelievable.
The thing is though, he did, and I think now we are only starting to believe it because we're seeing it. Like in his
Yeah,
first press
yeah.
conference, which is the way I think the All or Nothing started, he said, "Here are my, I've got non-negotiables. If players are not on board and they're not gonna play, they're all for this football club, then I
Yeah.
won't be here right now." Like and it's
Mm.
taken so long, and where it's felt like so many bad times were in like and around Arsenal. I
Yeah,
feel like
very hazy in that. Yeah,
we
yeah.
finally found like a stride, and there was a lot of
Yeah.
moments that I that from fans that they put in the All or Nothing that I thought was a bit over dramatic and exaggerated. Like there was a moment in there, I think when we lost to Liverpool after we won 5. I can't remember when exactly, but someone was like, "Oh, it's like a love hate with Arteta. Like, 1 minute we want him out, and then it's like we want him and we love him." And it's just like there
Yeah,
was one
yeah.
point last season, besides Brentford, where I thought this guy isn't the right man for the job. Like he is the right man. Like I don't know why people are just chatting the utmost crap, saying that 1 minute we love him, we hate him.
No, yeah.
Like, listen, people were on board last season, and
Yeah,
there
I
is
think we all
something.
were. I think it was before that there was genuine questions that had to be asked and
Yeah, but people were
genuine
asking the
doubt,
questions mid-season.
but not now. Yeah. It's just
But
what
there will
it's like,
still
mate.
be idiots out there that, well, sorry, viewers, I'm joking. But like, there will be people out there who still don't believe, and I'm just like, how can you not, bro? Like, look at what we've
Because
got.
they want titles, they want cups, they want everything now. But you'd have to question how long they've actually supported the club if that's the case. Because if you understand the club, you know that it's we've had our ups and downs for decades. It's not always been. You can't just go by the Invincibles in that era and think that was that's
Yeah,
Arsenal. It's not.
yeah.
But
I've been speaking
we've
to a
always
lot
but we've
of
always been a big club. But you know what I mean.
I've been
Yeah.
speaking to a lot of like older fans from like who've seen the 90s and stuff like that, and they've said to me that this team now gives, or this season in fact gives 97 vibes when
Mm.
Wenger took Ian Wright and Elka and everyone else to the
Mm.
title. Do you know what I mean? And there is a lot of positivity. That there's a culture change. And
Yeah, it was
the,
because back then it was a culture change, a
yeah,
fresh outlook, fresh manager, a fresh way of doing things,
yeah.
and it gave you a hope of like, okay, it might not go our way, but there's something different. And yeah, so I can completely understand that. Makes
And I
sense.
think this is Arteta's third season as manager now.
2019, yeah.
So he's,
No, 29, yeah,
you could say he's got
yeah,
experience now. Like if he say went to like I don't know about Barca, but like let's say another team like in Europe, like you can't
Like
say he's
PSG or something.
yeah, you can't say he's inexperienced anymore. Maybe in the Champions
No.
League he's inexperienced, but in terms of like Premier League and week by week football, he's got a lot of
Yeah.
games under his belt, and I think
Well, look,
hopefully,
the Premier League is the hardest league in the world. No
yeah,
doubt about it. So
yeah, exactly,
if you can do it in here, you can do it anywhere.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
my view on it. You know,
but
but
yeah, man, yeah. Just
yeah.
before,
So
yeah, go on.
yeah. No, no. I was just saying if you wanted to briefly talk about the Bamiyang situation.
Yeah, I'll let you take the reins.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of the guy. And I know you are as well. But I think that really helped the episode when he was leaving to see things a lot clearer. I still don't think it's completely, black and white because we did see it just from one side. There was no, like you said to me, there's no interview with Aubameyang really talking about it, going over it. But I get more why Mikel did it. He has. This is the main striker, the main player for us, our captain, and he's just taking the piss. And if he can do it, then everyone can do it. And he can't have that at the club, and I completely understand it. But it was really interesting to see Edu try and almost get him back in. They were thinking, shall we just, try and almost like, look, we've made you an example, Bamiyang. You've been an idiot. You've been punished. You can, go and rot and train on your own for a good couple of weeks or a month. Take it on the chin, come back, finish the season with us, and let's go. I think it was interesting to see there was almost a difference in opinion with Mikel when they do, and the rest of the board. But they stuck to their guns, no pun intended. But they trusted Mikel and said, no, if that's what you want to do. I do feel it's a bit of a shame that he didn't stay just for like the rest of the season. I kind of felt like he's been punished. He's been shown up in front of all the other players. They now know I can't do this. Let's get him back in. We need a striker because we're near the top four. We're going to, I know he wasn't playing very well, but maybe just trying to overcome it to finish the season off. I think it obviously did backfire for us. It did backfire. We have to admit it. And I know Mikel will probably inside,
I don't know, man.
a little bit.
I don't know. I
think.
Nah, I agree. I disagree, man. I disagree.
You reckon? You don't think it backfired a little bit?
Nah. I'd rather, you know what? I'd rather take a hit. No, I wouldn't say that. I'd rather him set the tone and tell people, everyone around, everyone in the world, everyone in the future who he signed, that these are the rules and you're not to fuck around with them. You're not to mess around.
Yeah, no, yeah, but he did though. That's what I mean.
You're not to.
Oh yeah.
You're not to like take the mick. You're not to give 90%. You're not to give 75% or 80%.
Yeah.
You're all or nothing. Do you know what I mean?
All or nothing. Yeah.
No pun intended. Like you have to do that. No. And that's why I think him getting rid of him was the best thing to do because there was always talk around, oh, Aubameyang this, Aubameyang that. He would come back. He would probably slip up again because that's what he was doing on those high wages. He was slipping up, and he's getting paid big money to slip up, and that would just show the young lot like Saka, like, oh yeah, when you sign a new deal, this is how you're not gonna be. Otherwise, you're gone. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, no, absolutely, and that's what I was trying to say. I would have hoped that they could have made that example because he was made an example. He was training on his own. He couldn't get in the team even though he could have been there for selection if Mikel really decided to. He was basically toying with him, wasn't he? Saying, you can't do it. I just felt maybe coming to the end of the season, they could have brought him back and said, look, we've made an example of you. But if you do it again, you're out. But it's all
Mikel
hindsight, isn't it? It's all hindsight.
He said though, the trust was lost. It's like
but that's we don't know how many other conversations they had, do we? That's the thing, and or lack of conversations.
I would have liked to have seen a one-to-one conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they must have had, as you say, like a couple or a few. But it's just like you can't take the piss, man. That's the thing. It's like
no,
it's like you
and
to work late or not giving your all, and there's young
Yeah,
kids you got to lead by, and you're not doing that. Nah, it just got out of hand. And once he said the trust was gone, it's like any relationship, even with your wife
yeah,
or your
yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah.
Once that trust is gone, you ain't
It's
coming back from
impossible,
it.
isn't it? Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. But it was either way. It was really interesting because there was a bit of confliction with Mikel and Edu, and it was just interesting to see it. Do you know what I mean? Because I could understand from a club point of view, they want to get top four, and it was probably a dilemma. They're probably thinking, "Oh, should we just keep him until the end of the season?" Which he says anyway, doesn't he? Edu says it in the conversation. Are we going to keep him? But yeah, either way, no matter the situation, it was nice to find out what actually went on. And obviously, we won't know exactly what went on, but much more in detail than before. Because obviously, you've got people like Piers Morgan, saying, "Oh, Aubameyang this and that," but
idiots.
Yeah. But no, great episode though. It was really good.
Yeah, man. And listen, as we say, man, there's so much to look forward to. Leicester on Saturday is going to be rocking. I'm so excited. We got a new striker in Jesus, set to grace the turf of the Emirates again. I was so happy when he got a hat trick against Sevilla. And yeah, let's just hope for more goals. But before we leave, I wanted to get your predictions for Saturday. What do you think the score will be?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it's going to be 2-0 again.
2-0 again.
I don't see Leicester scoring.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got enough, especially when you got Saliba, mate. You might as well just go home. But yeah, but it's not just that. They're mentally all over the place at the moment, aren't they? Like Chelsea trying to get Fofana, whatever his name is, and obviously we're trying to get one of their players. I can never say his name. You can say it for me. Tillemans. That's it. I always say Tillsman. Don't know why, but
Tillemans.
But yeah, I know it's the heat. But so I don't know if he'll play or not. That should be very interesting.
Yeah, I think he probably will play him just to be like, this is what you haven't got, and they're gonna try and like shove him in our face, this sort of thing, like come after him, or he'll probably
I mean, they say that, but
they're like, haha, look.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think they hold the card so much because he's near the end of his contract, isn't he? So the longer they leave it in the window, the more the price is going to have to go down for them to get rid of him. So, yeah, we'll see. But no, I can see nothing but a win and a 2-0, maybe 3, but I'll be play safe and say 2. But what do you think?
Yeah, man. I think we'll go 3-0. I think we're really going to wipe them off the Emirates. I'm so confident, man. Listen.
Yeah, but it's nice. Isn't it nice to feel that way? As an
It is very nice. It is. One thing I do want to say before we wrap it up is I'm really, really happy going forwards, like with this documentary in the back of my mind, because I can sort of, after every half time now, every end of the game, I can see what Arteta's thinking and doing. Do you know what I mean? Like you kind of, after you saw the Palace game, you kind of know what kind of team talk he gave and what kind of events were happening in the training room. So yeah, bro, like it's just good to see that, and yeah, probably good for everyone to bear in mind, so it makes everything more fun.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I just want to say thank you for joining, and thank you for everyone who came this way, and we'll see you again soon. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Chat to you in a bit, bro.
Cheers, man. Bye.